And now for a next news special report.
Are you feeling drowned in the noise of election fraud and manipulation? It's disheartening, no doubt, but here's the real deal. Your vote matters more than ever. 2024 is peeking around the corner, and whispers are getting louder about overcoming the margin of fraud. Are you wondering what this buzzword means? It's a conversation about how much an election can be seemingly rigged before it's just too obvious to hide. We'll explore this and the growing hope for the coming election. Let's dive into why your vote holds unexpected power and how it could change the game. And in the end, I'll share a final thought that you don't want to miss, highlighting why this story is not just the talk of the town, but a beacon calling for your attention and action. Now, I'm here to talk about something that we've been hearing a lot about lately, election cheating on a massive scale. I know it's a loaded topic, but bear with me here. This concept of margin of fraud is now making rounds. So what is that, you ask? Well, it's the limit to how much cheating can allegedly happen in an election before it's just too obvious to hide. It's like painting a zebra green and hoping that nobody notices. It doesn't quite work. So let's roll back a bit. Remember back in 2016, Trump supporters say he won then because his victory was so overwhelming, it burst through this margin of fraud. His win was so big that no amount of alleged cheating could cover it up. Fast forward to 2024, folks are saying it can happen again despite all the whispers of cheating. Now, I know it's easy to lose faith in voting, but with all this talk about fraud, but look, voting still matters a ton. Back in 2016, people turned out and made their voices heard loud and clear, and it made a difference. It can definitely happen again in 2024, so it's crucial to get out there and vote, no matter what you hear. Now let's chat about Trump's MAGA rallies for a second. You've seen them, packed stadiums, tons of supporters. The idea here is that Trump's support is massive, way too big for him to lose an election. And yet, some folks are scratching their heads when he lost in 2020. Despite this, people are hopeful for 2024. Now here's where things get really interesting. Right now, Trump is polling high, even above this margin of fraud. Richard Barris chipped in on this, saying that there's only so much cheating that can happen before it gets just ridiculous. If Trump's support is strong enough, it doesn't matter what tricks might be up anyone's sleeve, and it's a win-win. And folks, that's what we're banking on for 2024. Watch this.
That Trump is polling ahead of the margin of fraud. Explain for the audience what that means, and especially as pertains to a state like Pennsylvania.
It means that they can do whatever trick they have up their sleeve, but eventually there's a finite amount of ballots, Jack. And if you win, if you win by a margin large enough, there's not a whole lot they can do. I mean, to make the math really simple, there's only so much they can play around with, Jack, before, I mean, it just gets ridiculous. I mean, there's a certain number of people who are registered to vote, and then there are percentages of them that actually do, and then there are unrealistic percentages, which is, I think, what they're looking at. They know at this moment, when it comes to auto voter registration, what they know is that Trump is polling stronger than he was in 16 and 20. They were already nervous in 20 that he was going to, get a boost similar to 16 and catch them off guard. Now they're facing something that's totally different. And as it stands right now in a state like Pennsylvania, it's status quo. And I know people are looking at 22 and they're thinking, oh, the state's out of reach. It's not for Donald Trump. Donald Trump is very different than everybody else. He's very different than, Mehmet Oz. I mean, it's a total different animal. And, I'm just trying to be nice here. But the fact is, that's his wheelhouse, are these Rust Belt states and these mid-Atlantic areas. And Shapiro, by him doing this, is signal to me that the status quo is too risky for them. They're just more confident in their ability to go out and get those new voters, and they're not at all confident in the Republican ability to do that, because Republicans, as of now, don't have one, especially in a state like Pennsylvania. So just real quick, to use an example. I went into the database when this happened, and I immediately identified a block of 300,000 eligible but not registered voters. Very simple demographic sweep in there. About 200,000 of them were pegged to be more friendly to the Republicans, more likely Trump supporters, and 100 and so thousand were for Democrats. They know that. What I'm saying is this. They were willing to take that risk because of how the position they're in now is poor. They're willing to take that risk because they're confident that they'll go out and get their 100,000, but Republicans won't go and get their 200,000. So, and they have every reason to believe that, because Republicans are too busy spending $100 million a quarter trying to defeat the guy who's the only one who can bring these voters to the polls anyway. So if you're Josh Shapiro, you're chuckling and you're going to do this, even though there's a risk. And I would point to people, New Jersey. Now, the bill was signed in 2018. It really got underway in the last couple of cycles. And ever since they did, New Jersey has seen a lot of the inactive crap fall off their records, and Republicans have gained, and the state has shifted to the right slightly. And that's without any effort at all, Jack.
But hold on, in the midst of all this talk about elections and cheating, let's not forget that we're living in pretty unpredictable times with all kinds of crises hitting us left and right. This is why it's super important to be prepared for anything that life throws our way. That's why I want to tell you about My Patriot Supply. These guys are offering a crazy 25% discount on their 3-month emergency food kit. It's about making sure your family is safe and has enough to eat no matter what's going on out there. Check it out and make sure you do and your loved ones are set for whatever comes your way. Visit preparewithgary.com right now to snag a 25% discount. It's a limited time offer, so don't miss out. Now back to the topic, let's delve into the details of this margin of fraud. There is a limit to how many ballots exist, right? If you win by a huge margin, not much can mess with that victory. Barris gives us the lowdown. Trump is polling stronger now than in 2016 and 2020. People were already nervous back in 2020 that he would get a similar boost to 2016 and take everyone by surprise. Now, it's a whole new ballgame. Even in a place like Pennsylvania, which some think is out of reach, Trump is holding his ground. The guy is different, folks say. He's got a strong grip in the Rust Belt and Mid-Atlantic states. Despite all the automatic voter registration laws and whatnot, there's a belief that Trump's support is solid. Barris even gives an example from Pennsylvania. A block of 300,000 eligible but not registered voters was found, and about 2/3 of them were likely Trump supporters. The thought is they are willing to take the risk because they believe they can get their voters out, but Republicans won't. So what's the big picture here? The belief is that Trump's overwhelming support can again break through this margin of fraud in 2024, just like in 2016. It's all about delivering such a colossal victory at the voting booths that it goes beyond any alleged cheating attempts. The good news is that Trump is polling above this margin of fraud, and people are hopeful. There's a firm belief in the power of votes and the importance of each person making their voice heard by voting. It's a call to action to everyone to stand up and be counted and make a real difference in the upcoming elections. It boils down to this. Voting matters. Your voice matters. And it's crucial to fight for the integrity of the electoral process. It's not just about one election. It's about ensuring that the voice of the people is heard loud and clear election after election. Let's make sure every vote counts and that the true will of the people always shine through beyond any margin of fraud. As we close today's segment, here's that important thought I promised to share. Your vote is not a whisper in the wind. It's a loud shout for democracy, a declaration of your belief and commitment to the republic. Amidst the talks of overwhelming the margin of fraud, your individual contribution is paramount. The understanding is clear. When the support floods in, it transcends any alleged manipulation. This victory, vast and undeniable, ensures the people's voice echoes in every corner. Your vote echoes in this chorus, ensuring a true and undeniable impact in the 2024 election. In the face of uncertainty and suspicions, stand firm in your right and responsibility to vote. It's not merely about winning an election. It's about fortifying the Republic's foundation brick by brick, vote by vote. Stand up, be counted, and let's secure our Republic's future together. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Now keep up your quest for truth with this next news report. And if you found our channel enlightening, join the millions who agree with you. tap subscribe. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.